I am a director at Extensia. I am involved in coordinating the participation at the Innovation Africa Digital Summit. The Innovation Africa Digital Summit is the same summit essentially that has been running for the last 9 years under the banner of the Digital Africa Summit. This year's a watershed year, I think, for African ICT, because the opportunities for innovation are now there. The connectivity is landed at the sea and on the shore, and the time is now to see what you do with that connectivity, how Africa can innovate to become more effective, more efficient, and to be able to drive the growth of the continent in many different ways. The ICT is an enabler for growth. The capacity is there now and the ability is there now. So we bring together policymakers and regulators, but we also bring the service providers, the major end users, and also the solution providers who can provide the solutions that can support the growth of the industry. And it's that culmination of those people from the different areas of the industry which really makes the Innovation Africa Digital Summit quite unique. 2011 Innovation Africa Digital Summit is firstly at a beautiful location, and we're very happy to be here in Mombasa. The heat is challenging for some of us, but the place is fantastic, and Kenya is a hub for ICT growth in Africa, and that was one of the main reasonings behind bringing the summit to Kenya, also by invite from the Minister Pugisio, the Minister for ICT, who wanted to, having attended the summit previously, host the summit in Kenya for this year. We build the relationships with the key organisations, and we're very happy to have so many key organisations represented, as well as the service providers, the regulators, the policymakers. They really see a lot of value in the summit, and year on year we see many of the same faces, and this year we're happy to see quite a few new faces as well. The expectations for the summit are really to make sure for us as the organisers of the event and the facilitators of the interactions here is to make sure people have a free flow to see who the other participants are and identify where the right connections can be made, where regulators can understand better the needs of the service providers, and the policymakers can understand how they can support the growth of the industry as well. Global connectivity is, as we know, different countries are at different stages of development. I think that's a positive thing for Africa, because for those countries that have already been to where Africa is heading now, Africa can learn from what's worked and what hasn't worked, and they can leapfrog. And I see that as being a very key opportunity for Africa. Connectivity's had a big influence on enabling those things to happen, enabling good responses and efficient responses to those, coordinating opportunities for emergency services to react quickly and effectively, and to make everything much more transparent, I think, especially with social media. People are connected right across the world. Nobody can be left not knowing the truth. The truth is available to everybody now, as we've seen with WikiLeaks and other social media platforms that have enabled what would have once been secret knowledge to become public. And for governments, the future of ICT in Africa is, I would suggest, impossible to predict, because who would have predicted that the iPad just a few years ago, it's not that long ago that we were using simple mobile phones and internet was slow, but it was fixed. And now everybody's got the iPad and the iPhone, and the opportunities for growth within it, they can't be predicted. I think that it's a progression, and it happens in a very organic way.